The Chiefs are number one.
Hello, and how's it going, Chiefs? Oh, that's too loud. Hey, how's it going, Chiefs Kingdom? Welcome to another episode of the Let's Talk Chiefs Live. First, I want to start off by apologizing. I've been absent from YouTube for quite the number of weeks. I just want to apologize for that. I hope to keep trying to bring out videos. I'm doing the best I can at this, man.
You're a slacker. You remind me of your father when he went here. He was a slacker too.
Anyways, let's jump right into it, shall we? This is going to be kind of a catch-up show a little bit for me. It's a super show. I'm going to pack this with a bunch of thoughts. Mostly it's going to be about the Ravens game, a lot about the game coming up, the AFC playoff picture. Some of the stuff that's happened already has been talked about on numerous other outlets. We'll kind of dive into that as well. So the first thing, obviously, that we got to bring up is Kareem Hunt.
No, God!
And I've said some things on Twitter. If you haven't followed me on Twitter yet, it's at Talk Chiefs Live. Check me out. I do a lot of tweeting. The stuff about Hunt, I was very disappointed, very sad. I guess the only way to describe it is that at first I was angry. I think like a lot of people were angry at what the Chiefs did. They fired Kareem Hunt, who I loved a lot as a player and as a person, at least I thought so. It hurt a lot, and but the Chiefs had to make a move, and they had to make a very strong move, and they did what they had to do, I guess. It hurt the team, and it hurt a lot of the fans, it hurt the city, but we're gonna have to move on, get past that, and that's what we're doing. They played 2 games already, and they look like they can handle the stress and handle the fact that they just lost one of the best running backs that they had in the league. I don't need to talk about that anymore, though. It's been talked about so much. Chiefs Urag and the Brit Chief have really good videos on that. If you haven't seen them yet, check them out. They have some really good takes on the Kareem Hunt issue. Moving along, the defense has not been very good.
Say what?
Oh, shocking. The defense, yeah, I mean, they've been okay. But that Raiders game was tough. That's a tough one to swallow. But now now that you kind of see what happened with the Chiefs in that Raiders game, and you take it for what they did to the Steelers, you're kind of like understand like, all right, maybe the Raiders aren't as bad as their record, And I feel that way. I felt that way going into that Raiders game. I was like, their record is pretty god awful, but they're not as bad as everyone's saying. They're still an NFL football team, so it's going to be a tough task. I just wish our defense could just play a little stronger, especially in the end of games. We got to be able to finish games, and the defense just doesn't really do a good job at finishing. I think they just get really run down and tired throughout the entire course of the game. They don't get stronger as the game goes on, which is different from what we can say about our offense, which is they almost seem like they get stronger and more dominant as the game goes on.
This is called domination!
I just feel like we need to try to take what the offense is doing, not have the defense do the same thing. They need to get stronger at the end of games. So basically what I'm saying is defense needs to figure some shit out, and I don't have an answer. Is Eric Berry the answer? Well, we'll find out. Maybe this Thursday. So with that, I think it's time to segue right into Eric Berry.
Every movement we make is with a purpose, dog. Every stance is with a purpose, dog. When you buckle your chin strap up, it's with a purpose, dog. Do you feel me?
No.
Do you feel me? Do you feel me?
Oh my, is Eric Berry gonna save this defense? I don't know. Is he day to day? He is. Is he gonna start on Thursday against the Chargers? Probably not.
You're a bigger buzzkill than Buzz Killington.
I don't think he's gonna start, guys. I just, why? Why? This just doesn't seem like it's gonna happen. Eric Berry's season has been quite just a roller coaster and just sad, and man, I just can't believe it. I really want him to start. I want him to be able to play at the level that we see him play at. He can, if he gets on the field, maybe change what this defense is doing and put him in a higher tier. I really hope that's the case. Please, Eric Berry, we need you. Right now, he's just going to be on the sidelines trying to be a cheerleader for this defense, and it's not working. So we need him on the field. We need him making some kind of productivity on the field. Even if he does start, he's going to be playing through some pain, obviously. This is obviously an injury they're not taking lightly. And I wish him the best, and I hope that we do see him run through the tunnel on Thursday night. I can't wait to see that if that's what happens. I don't have my hopes up. But can you imagine? That's just going to be quite the scene, and that's going to be a raucous Arrowhead. On to another player that's very interesting, Kelvin Benjamin, man. Wow, we got Kelvin Benjamin on this team, and it's going to add some interesting options for Andy Reid. How does he draw him into this dynamic offense that they already have? This very deep offense with huge, big-time playmakers. Just another weapon that Mahomes can have now. And I'm just really curious to see how they do that. Of course, he's not going to start right away. I don't think you're going to have him in all the time. If anything, he's going to be used very maybe in the playoffs only. I bet we do see him on Thursday, just a little bit, maybe for a play or two. I think that Andy Reid has now had time to draw something up for him. And I think he's had, enough days where he can kind of figure out just those couple plays that they want him to be in there for. And if anything, it's going to be a decoy, just kind of throw the defense off. So I'm happy with the signing. I think he's a big guy. He's 6'5", 2+, so he's going to be interesting and a good matchup for any kind of cornerback that Mahomes wants to exploit. So I'm happy with this signing. On to the Raven game. Oh, wow.
What a spot for Griffin to come into as he heaves it down the field, and it's incomplete, and the Chiefs have won it. Broken up by Kendall Fuller.
That game was fun. I watched it in my man cave with my friends, and it was quite the ride. It was exhilarating. I wasn't as nervous. I just you're watching this game, you're down 24-17. I wasn't nervous. Even on the fourth downs, I was sitting there thinking like, yeah, this is a pretty shitty position to be in. You're on 4th and 9, and how did we get to this point? I just couldn't figure it out. The offense just did not seem to get a rhythm in early enough, and that is one hell of a defense that the Ravens have. They played quite the team, and we found a way to manipulate that and get some points. And that's the kind of defense you're going to be seeing in the playoffs most likely. So they found a way to manipulate the defense best they could, and they exploited some holes and they found ways to win. And that's all it takes when you're playing a great team like the Ravens have. On the other side, the defense looked pretty good. I got to give them a little applause because they showed up, for most of the game. They kept Lamar in check the best they could, and that's all you can ask for. They didn't let him get the big time plays and the big time runs as you would think that was going to happen. I feel like he had too much time in the pocket a couple times where he did make some throws that he shouldn't have made. And it came down to, like I said, where all of a sudden you're down a touchdown with 2 minutes to go, and I wasn't nervous. I just knew that Mahomes was going to get it done. And then you get things like this.
4th and 9. They're chasing after him. Mahomes in trouble, flings it across his body, and it's caught by Hill. Hill has it. He came back for it, and he's out of bounds at the 12. Away from Mosley. That's a mismatch.
All the way across the field while your body weight is backwards falling out.
So there you are. That's Mahomes. You can't explain the amount of talent that this guy has. At this point, if you're a Chiefs fan, this is just your game day. You just count on that kind of play when it needs to happen. And when that ball is sailing in the air on 4th and 9, and he's thrown across his body, and you're watching on TV, all you see is the ball. It is exhilarating. It's in slow motion almost. It's like, where is that ball gonna go? Your heart's racing. It's the game on the line. Is it gonna fall where it needs to fall? And of course it did. I can't believe it. I jumped up in joy. I said, all right, game on. Let's do this thing. And then of course you had a 4th and 3, and then he does it again.
All out pressure, Jim. 4th and 3. Here they come. Mahomes unloads, and he's there! Williams for the touchdown!
And just like that, Mahomes becomes the MVP of the league. 2 plays, gets the win, and that's the difference between most quarterbacks in the league. You can have the stats, but did you make the right plays when it mattered? And Mahomes seems to always make the right plays when it matters the most. If our defense could do the same, we may have won that Patriots game. We may have won that Rams game. We may be undefeated right now if the defense could just get a couple stops where they were needed. That's really the difference. Mahomes gets it done when it matters the most, and that is the difference between an MVP guy and just a normal quarterback. Oh my God, this episode is gonna be long. Moving on, we're gonna check out this Chargers team, and this AFC West just got way interesting. These Chargers won't go away, and now we got a chance to just prove our dominance, win the West, win the first round bye, and I think it's gonna happen. I really do. This game is probably the most important game of the season, not just for the Chiefs and the Chargers, for the whole AFC as a whole. This is going to determine a lot of things. Now, the haters are going to say, well, you guys played them in week 1 without Joey Bosa. Well, blah, 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 blah. I'm a hater.
They fucking hate us because they ain't
Stop
us.
saying that.
Hate us because they ain't us.
They don't hate us because they ain't us. They don't hate us because
I'm
they ain't
used
us.
to it. They hate us because they ain't us.
Stop it. Stop it. Don't say it again.
Baby, haters gonna hate. And ain'ters gonna ain't.
That is not an actual thing people say.
This is what you do to haters. You just smile.
It's going to be interesting to see how Mahomes has time in the pocket, but as we know, Mahomes thrives outside the pocket, and most stats will show that the majority of his big play ability is outside the pocket. So most teams are going to want to keep him in the pocket. So if you have a pretty good pass rush and you get him scrambling, that's actually a plus for the Chiefs. But the real test is going to see, can our defense finish the game? I think this is going to be one of those Rams shootouts. I think that the defense is going to be 1 or 2 plays away from holding this game to a victory. Now, we can trust the offense, even though they've had a little lull in the past couple of games. I think we can trust that Mahomes is going to get 300 yards. He's going to get a couple touchdowns. Can the defense get a couple of third down stops and maybe a few turnovers to actually solidify themselves as a playoff contention defense and get the fucking victory against an AFC West opponent that is right on our heels trying to steal this season from us? And that's what we're going to have to see, and I think that they're going to do it. I really do. And if it comes to a shootout, my money's on the Chiefs all day. Even though they haven't won the shootout yet, eventually you're going to have to win the shootout. And I would say that the shootouts they've been in, the only reason they lost was because of a couple bad turnovers. So, well, in the Rams game, a few bad turnovers. It's going to be a fun game. I can't wait. And I hope everyone goes down to Arrowhead and just has a raucous time. In the AFC, the Chiefs got a lucky break. Man, the freaking Patriots blew it.
Seconds left. Tannehill will throw it. And this will end it after the shovel. Or will it? Miami running around. Circling. Oh, look out! Gronkowski!
And Houston just that streak was gonna end eventually, and it just happened to end right in the right moment.
Oh, and Clowney may have jumped.
Oh, they did. How about that? That's really good work by the veteran quarterback, just changing up the snap count.
All the stars aligned for us on Sunday, and it was amazing. It was an amazing day of football. I had most fun, I think, all season watching football. Watching the miracle in Miami, just the Houston game just didn't work out for Houston in the end. And then, of course, Mahomes' miracle in Arrowhead against the Ravens. That's just all we could ask for. The only thing that would have made it better is if Chargers would have lost. This makes this game even more fun and more interesting. So we are basically, I think, on our way to having an AFC championship game in Arrowhead. Can you guys imagine that? That is unbelievable. And anything less would be just a waste of a season. If this does not happen, if the Chiefs cannot get it done in a divisional game in Arrowhead, can't get the win, then this was a wasted season. All the stats didn't matter. If Mahomes gets that MVP, didn't matter. Because we couldn't get it done one game in January. But this is not the Chiefs of the past, which everyone likes to bring up. This is a different era. So if it's going to happen, it's going to happen now. Mahomes is going to do everything he can to make sure that we don't leave Arrowhead on a divisional playoff game a loser. I feel like that's the difference. They're going to do everything to make sure that doesn't happen. I think the first round bye is inevitable. I think home field advantage is almost 98% going to happen. With that, guys, I've talked long enough. I cannot wait for this game on Thursday. And please put those drinks to the sky and do the chant, oh!